Hey, how's it going? My name's Josh from ptstartupsecrets.com, and in today's video I want to talk about the choice of whether you should be a one-to-one personal trainer versus being an online fitness coach. So obviously, especially now during the lockdown around the whole world, personal training hasn't been an option. So if you've wanted to be a trainer, chances are you've had no option but to look online. So many personal trainers have been doing sessions over Zoom, over video call. Recently the parks have opened back up. You've been allowed to go outside. So one-on-one sessions have been able to happen in the parks, but life as we know it as personal training in the gym has not been an option for many weeks now. And understandably, there has been a whole rush of trainers looking at the online dream of being an online fitness coach. And I've done this as well. And I've made this attempt last year and I fell into it again this year out of fear and panic. But after a period, I felt like I had to really think about and decide what my plans were moving forwards. And I've actually made the decision to stick with one-to-one personal training. And I'm basically going to use this video to explain why I have done that. Because I'm sure you've seen the adverts on Instagram or Facebook of these teenagers or young people, young trainers making millions, living on a beach. And it's definitely a possibility. It can definitely happen. And obviously it's a great goal to have. But you need to understand that that doesn't happen overnight. What I realized is all of a sudden, from ignoring social media to now COVID has come, the lockdowns come, and you've had to jump online, that is the worst time to make the leap to become an online coach, in my opinion. The gyms are shut. Not only are you having to persuade someone to get fit and use you and hire you for their coaching services, but you're having to persuade them to do it at home with no equipment, no gym, anything like that. And if you've already built up a following, then amazing. But if you're starting from scratch, chances are you're relying on friends and family to become clients, which is great. Don't get me wrong. But in the grand scheme of things, when we're talking about paying your bills and creating the income you want to make this a full-time career that's paying you 5, 6, 7, 10 plus K a month, that's something that's not going to happen overnight. And you panicking and rushing is not the best way to launch this new avenue. And the one thing I learned about online is this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is something that takes time. You need to build trust in the audience. You need to build trust with strangers on the internet for them to get in a stage where they're paying you and getting enough clients that are paying you to live the lifestyle that you can. Don't get me wrong, there is no ceiling once you get to that. And that's one of the advantages of online, is that there is no ceiling to how many people you can train and how much money you can make versus in person. Okay, it's true. There's only a certain amount of hours in a day. And from that period of committing to so many hours, the way to make more will just have to be raising your prices. So there is a cap. I'll hands up, that's true. But for me, one of the main reasons why I decided to stay focused to personal training versus going online is because, number one, it's easier. If you're comparing seeing a member in the gym for the first time, so a stranger who you've never spoken to, and they've seen your uniform and you see them face to face, versus online where you're just DMing somebody who's a stranger who doesn't know you from Adam and you're just popping up in the DMs, approaching someone in the gym is going to be way easier, especially when you're starting out. If online you've got loads of transformations and you've got a huge following and you've got a huge buzz online and you DM someone, that's a different story. If you've got 100K followers, that's a different story. But if you're just starting out, it's going to be way easier to introduce yourself to someone on the gym floor who can see you, see you're real, and you're wearing the uniform, you're qualified, and the trust is already built. So starting off as a new business, it's easier to make the money in the gym. Also, it's faster. Out of all the things I've tried, I can't think of a faster way to get a great amount of money than as a personal trainer in the gym once you know what you're doing. I'm sure you'll find as a PT, even in your first week or 2 weeks, you would have had inquiries. If you didn't close them to become clients, then that's another issue. But people are generally interested. They've joined up to a gym anyway. They've taken the effort to come out of their house, to get a membership, to pin in, to get changed. They've literally done all that effort, so they're super qualified. Versus you're DMing someone on social media who's on the couch, who doesn't give a damn about training and is wondering why you're messaging them. It's a completely different game and a completely different arena. You're already on the upper hand when you speak to someone in the gym versus DMing them and they're on the train. They don't care about fitness one bit and who's this person. And like I said earlier, if you want to really make this a career, you can't look at online as a get rich quick scheme. It's something that you need to invest time, grow, build a tribe, build a following, build that trust. And if I compare in the gym to online, as a new starter, I say that the money's faster in the gym. And if you're like me, you love training hard, you love the act of training, and you love the act of seeing your clients progress in terms of toning up and getting stronger and enjoying the passion of training, and the nutrition is not so much of a passion to you, then that's another reason why I enjoy the gym so much. I love training in the gym. The nutrition side is important, but for me, that's more of a chore than the training. I love to eat, but when it comes to counting calories, this and that, I mean, it's not the funnest for me. And obviously I guide my clients on how to do that, but my passion lies with training. And my passion lies with training my clients as well. And essentially the online coaching model, essentially you're a glorified nutritionist. Essentially send workout plans. There's no way to tell if your client is doing the workout correctly, because if you're doing online coaching properly, you're just hoping and trusting that they do the workouts to the best of their ability. And you're essentially monitoring their nutrition to make sure they eat the right foods at the right times, which is obviously really important for weight loss, which is what people want. But obviously the aspects of the passion of training is taken out of it. You tell a client to do a deadlift, you don't know if they're doing it properly, you can't guide them. It'd be very hard to guide them, versus in the gym, you can give them proper form, proper advice, proper technique. When it comes to a squat, how can they squat properly? How do they avoid injury? And that part is completely cut out as an online coach. And you got to think about, as an online coach, you're training this person where they're going to be training. Once the gyms open back up, chances are, unless they've got all the equipment at home, they're going to go back to a gym. So again, they're going to be in an environment where you are with trainers. There's no escaping it. If people want to get in shape, they're going to be coming to a gym. And most people in the gym aren't going to be having online coaches. They might have read a couple magazines, seen a couple things on YouTube, but they're there for you, and they're there for you to pick them up like that. And don't get me wrong, I mean, if you can get paid great money for being a nutritionist, especially with your clients. So I'm not looking at that as a downside. It's just a case of following the passion, essentially. And so yeah, like I said, obviously we're going through lockdown at the moment, and this is a completely freak situation. No one could have predicted this. But other than a pandemic situation, we've had gyms for decades, and the gyms will be here for decades to come as well. So for as long as you know how to pick up clients and convert them and to make money in the gym, you've got a skill for life. And don't get me wrong, build up your online coaching business if that's your plan. but you should do that alongside making money as a trainer. So you're making full money from your passion and you're just growing your fitness business essentially. If we look at how generally a fitness business would start, essentially you're starting one-to-one, you're starting face-to-face, maybe you do small group coaching, but essentially you're directly sharing your expertise. And then once you've got the expertise, you build up some case studies, then you transition to online and you start expanding that way. So gyms are a great place to start, and I believe you can definitely get to the stage where you're making 60k plus a year and then expand that online as well. And if you talk about in the gym, you've got highly qualified leads in the gym, as I mentioned earlier. And between those leads, so those thousands of members, in my gym there's over 5,000 members. And in any commercial gym, like a pure gym, any low cost gym, there should be something similar. It's just you and there's a handful of other trainers. Now, for many gyms across the country, most of those trainers aren't even full-time. So the competition is essentially nil. If you're there, you're the only one paying rent, or maybe you and another trainer, most people are just coming in for their shifts. You've essentially got 4, 5, 6,000 members all ready for their taking. All those peak times in the gym, they're all there, they need help. And essentially you've got no competition. Versus online, there are hundreds of thousands of trainers, millions of followers on Instagram, social media, and obviously there are a lot of people in the world as well. But again, you're competing in a pool of people who are interested in training or bettering themselves right now. This is the time. And versus them going to Simeon Panda, going to his course or a Ulysses or something like that, you're in a gym with one other person, 2 other trainers that are full-time. And essentially I look at my gym, I'm the Simeon Panda in my gym. Versus I'm online and I'm nobody and I'm starting from scratch online. Obviously if I was building it up, then yeah, I can become my own person online and stand out amongst everyone else, but that doesn't happen overnight. Whereas I've been training over 10 years, I'm in the gym, I'm whoever I want to be in the gym, if that makes sense. Even if you haven't been training for that long, you're going to have much more experience than that member you're speaking to in the gym. Like, you're the expert. You might not even have social media. You might not have 1 follower on Instagram or Facebook, but you can just convey your experience to that person, and you're the expert of all experts in that one place, in that one gym. Like, you're the Joe Wicks, you're whoever you want to be in that gym, because there's no one else right there that can help them. And as I said, you should do both. I'm not saying online is bad or PT is bad. Like, they're both amazing. But what I should say is, don't drop PT to chase the online dream, because what you don't want to do, what I've been in this situation is, I said, I'm going to leave the gym. I'm done. My dream is to be an online coach, and I want to be one of these guys on the beach and sipping mojitos and having my Ferrari there and training online clients on a laptop. And I'm there chilling on my lounger, the pool's there, I glance over and I'm making millions and doing nothing. And the reality is, it's not like that. Like, to build up, it's a grind. You're up, messaging, reaching out, people ignoring you, people not turning up for your sales calls, people wondering who you are, why are you disturbing them, why are you in my DMs, being rude. Like, it's a grind. Like, there's no easy business to get started. It's all hard. And just from my experience, getting clients, getting personal training clients, way easier to start with. And I don't want to be one of those people that's rushing to online out of panic. And all of a sudden the gym's open back up. I've given up, I've left the gym already. And I've found a couple friends and family who want me to train them online, but now all my warm leads are done. I'm now having to DM people. I've got no reputation online. I've got about I've got 500 followers and people are wondering who I am. And now my bills are coming out. I've got to pay my rent. I've got to pay my car. And I've given up I've given up the easy money. I've given up the fast money. I've given up being able to help people who want my help right now to chase this online dream, which is maybe a bit of money, and maybe where I wasn't being serious in the gym and I was just floating here and there. I'm making more money online, but how much more money am I making? Is that enough to really cover my bills? If that makes sense. Versus you really doubling down on the gym and the fast, easy money, getting comfortable, making 5, 6, 7,000 a month. And now you're comfortable, you're using some of that money to invest into your online business, into marketing, to advertising. And you're growing it that way. Like, do both. Like, if I was to do it again, I would literally get my PT business booming, use my extra time to get my coaching business booming and build that slowly. Give myself a year or so to really grow that up. Not just drop this and then rely on my bills and everything to get this and be desperate. It's not the best way to go. Anyway, I'm sure, some of you might have found this interesting. You might disagree with me on certain parts. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment and I'll catch you on the next video.